Alright, hello everyone, it's Rene here. So finally got back to Taiwan here. Got some chance to sleep in and really rest up because that sort of week in Alberta and BC was really crazy. A lot of fun and a lot of, energy being consumed by myself. So really glad that I got a chance to come back to Taiwan now. Got some sleep. I was sleeping like I think 12-hour days for the first 3-4 days. But really all back to normal again. And of course, back in my office, doing some more chores as usual. And today I really want to cover really quickly some of the key things that you guys want to be doing leading up to Ramin's arrival. So this whole entire video is going to show you guys what I would do and how I ran my business when I had someone like Ramin at a big event happening in Toronto, of course, maybe even in different places around the world. So you get a chance, get a piece of paper and pencil because you want to take a lot of notes down of what you should be doing leading up to the event to make sure you actually maximize Ramin being in Alberta. You can actually maximize all of the different, benefits of that event. So I really want to make sure you guys get a chance to take good advantage of Ramin's arrival, and how to properly prepare for that is by the following. The very first thing you want to be doing that I've always did before is number one is get on a call and call every single one of your older members back who've either joined the business before, have been in for many years, perhaps they're inactive, they're active. You want to just give a quick call back to every single member and let them know that the CEO of GWT is coming into your town again. The second thing you want to mention as well in the same conversation is you want to mention the fact is that the company has changed completely. So a lot of the people who have joined, especially after the first year or 2 years, and they haven't seen the new company since March of 2012, they don't really understand what's happened in the company since then. So I've always felt it my obligation, my responsibility to inform all these people what are the new changes. So in my phone call to these people, I would simply say, hey, John, you're not going to believe what's happened to this company. It's changed so much just as of a convention of March of 2012. And guess what? The CEO of GWT is coming down to our city to pay us a special visit. Come out there, make some time. Mark the date down, July, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th in the relevant cities. So that's what you want to do. Really simply is make a quick phone call to all of your existing members and simply inform them that the CEO is coming down. Because again, for me, I always felt it necessary to inform all of my members. Just a quick touching call. Hey, you know what? John's Rene calling. We've been in touch for a bit. I wanted to inform you that we have again the CEO coming down to our town again, and you're not going to believe the changes that have happened since March of 2012. So that's the first thing you want to do. Really simply is just make some time. Pick up the phone call. It could be 1 call per day. It could be 10 calls per day. Whatever It could be during your break. Just call those people back because you know what? When people see the new company, they're going to be very excited as well too. So that's been my experience so far in calling back some of my older members as well too. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is understand the strategy of events. And we kind of talked about this the last call with David. And with events, so what I do with events is to build up leading to the event. So in other words, you always have a pre-event activity, you have the event activity, and then you have the post-event activity. So for example, when I was going into Alberta, the calls we had leading up to the event, that was all pre-event, doing a lot of tours, getting more people to come out to see the tour. That's all pre-event activity because you want to do that effectively. So when you have the event itself, you have now a ton more people, a ton more members, a ton more guests at the event to actually see myself, or in this case, to see Ramin. Once that's done, is now the post-event activity. So post-event was after I left Alberta, which was a lot of momentum coming out of that. And so again, now we're back sort of switching from the post-event into the pre-event for Ramin. And so, in other words, a lot of people I see have made the mistake, and I, for one, in the past, also made the same mistake. In the past, when I knew that we had some special big guest speaker coming into the town, I would always sort of book all of my people to attend that one specific event. What I realized was that that wasn't quite effective, and what you should be doing is doing a lot of tours before the event actually happens. Because what would happen is I might have 2 to 10 guests at that event. They're all seeing it for the first time, and then after they see it, they now want to bring their guests to come out and also see the company too. So what I realized was that had I actually done all those 8 people and booked them for tours before the actual event, I would have had much more people coming to the event together. And so I've always learned that since then on to always do a lot of pre-activity tours. And in all of your tours you do right now before that main event, you want to be telling people that the CEO of GWT is coming down to your city. Every single tour you do has to be about that. And of course, I did record a training video on the comp plan and closing remarks. I got some great feedback on that already. So if you haven't watched that video yet, make sure you go and open up my previous email, watch that video. So and as part of the closing, you also do want to now mention the fact that the CEO is coming down to your town, and um, so again, that's all pre-event activity leading up to the event, and the whole idea is very similar to giving you sort of like a quick analogy, is similar to Christmas, right? Christmas Day is the main holiday. That's the big day, right? But again, all of the stores and all the shopping malls aren't open on Christmas Day, right? All of the sales for Christmas happen before Christmas Day. So all the sales, all the highest selling records for items, all of the revenue for most retail companies come from the few days leading up to Christmas. It doesn't happen on Christmas Day because it's closed. So all the malls are closed on Christmas Day. So that's why, very similar to our business here, you want to do all of your activity now leading up to that event on when the Ramin is arriving in your town. So again, the other key part of this is all about your culture, because I sort of talked about this in boot camp last while I was in Alberta. But culture is very important, and I asked a question, do you have culture? And then I also asked a question, where does culture start with? It starts with you guys, right? So culture starts from you, and it kind of goes into your team. So as part of my culture, I've always have had the culture of letting my team know, look guys, whenever we have a big event, we got to make sure we jam that room, because we want to make sure that all the people get a chance to hear from Ramin. Because the reality is that some people come to the business, they're not going to be as super excited as some others. So some people come in, they join, they're so fired up, they go and they book 20 tours, they have people sign up. That happens sometimes. On the other case, you have other people who join who need some more time to get into the business. They need that constant feeding. It's kind of like a brand new born baby, right? When they're born, what do you gotta do? You gotta feed milk, right? Now for me, I know because my wife, I ended up sort of bottle feeding a lot of the time. So I understand that when you have a brand new baby, like a brand new member, you have to nurture this person. And so, as part of that nurturing, what I found is that you want to have them understand there's a constant event happening. So again, we have events planned for the next few months. So we have Ramin, then we're going to have Sinat, we're going to have David. So you have all these events happening. You want to make sure you leverage all these activities. And so my point about being in touch with these members, even the ones who haven't been active for a long time, is the fact that some people will come in, they need that nurturing before they get fired up. So excuse me one quick second. They need that nurturing before they get really fired up. So what do I mean by that? I mean that some people who join need to get more exposure and need to see more from the company before they get that belief within themselves. People who join who don't have their own belief will rely upon your belief. And if you don't have the belief, they're going to rely upon someone else's belief. So my point is that when people you invite and they bring their guests out to see Ramin, believe me, they will get their belief, because the belief comes from Ramin. And that's the best time is to get that belief into your people is by having them listen to Ramin, right? And what you're going to find out is that for a lot of people who weren't active for the past few years, or maybe for the past few weeks, they're going to get active now. I gave the example of cooking a frog, right? It's a very sort of popular analogy here in Asia, where some people who join the business, they're not fired up. So the whole idea is if you want to cook a frog, if you throw a frog into a boiling pot of water and it's boiling hot, the frog will go in, it'll jump right back out again. It's just too hot, it's going to escape that place, right? So, but in order to cook a frog properly, is you want to put them in nice warm water, so then they're kind of swimming around and doing the breaststroke, crank the heat slowly, and they get cooked slowly. My point is that people are the same. People need to have that constant heat, that slow heat coming in every now and then to remind them about events happening, to remind them about the tours, to remind them about the trainings, and again to remind them about the big events like Ramin coming down to your city. So those are the things that you want to be doing leading up to Ramin's arrival. If you do this properly, if you just do it basically, you're going to see the fruit of your labor, big time. Because believe me, whenever I get a chance to hear from Ramin, and I wish I could be there with you guys, but I just got back to Taiwan. But whenever I get a chance to hear from Ramin, my belief is already super high. It goes even a step higher. So again, you want to make sure you get a chance to get all your people in front of Ramin. So again, we have on July the 4th, we do have the tour happening in Calgary. July the 5th, we have the tour happening in Edmonton. July the 6th, we have the tour happening in Red Deer, and again, Super Saturday is on the 7th, happening, I think, in Red Deer or something. Like, we have the locations already booked for Red Deer on Friday, and for Saturday, Super Saturday. Make sure you register with Dale and Bob Cartier. I did have the emails. If you look in the GWT calendar, all the details are in there already. So go to your back office, log in, click on Tools, the very bottom, click on Calendar, and scroll forward. So move forward to July 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You will see all the events already there in your local Mountain Time already. So again, just to recover quickly, right? Again, guys, focus heavily now on pre-event activity leading up to the event. Again, understand that people, it's all about what happens now leading up to that event. Make sure that when we talk about Ramin, that you really heavily, just mention to people that Ramin is coming down. So again, call all of your people that have either joined before in the past. Do it out of respect, do it out of courtesy, out of being a proper upline. Take care of your people. That you want to inform your people that the CEO is coming down, and you're not going to believe what's happened to the company since you joined. Because for a lot of people, they just don't know what's happened with the company changes. It's taking off like a rocket ship in every single country worldwide. And of course, that's the main things, guys. So folks, we're going to push hard now. Again, make sure you get a call. If you don't want to get in touch with me, all you gotta do is make a quick phone call. You can reach me at 647-247-9684. Again, 647-247-9684. It calls me on my iPhone directly. I have this thing called Dell Voice that I'll tell people to install. Again, in Canada, it's a great application. You can install it. They'll call me right away. We talk as if we're just sort of side by side at a coffee shop. Anyhow, guys, Rene signing out. I guess we're going to work hard, and I'll make sure I push hard on my side, and let's rock that event, especially we jam those rooms for Ramin. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.